Well, hello again. Today's a big day, everybody. We are finally ready. It's taken, 90 days to get to this point, but we're finally ready to start the new site. As you know, we started collecting money here just because it seemed like people wanted to give me money back in December. Well, I have taken all of that money, a little bit more, and plowed it into the construction of this new site, not because I need it, and maybe not even so much that you need it, but because the general public needs it. They need our collective expertise, and they need it in an easily accessible, free way, and thus the new site. Again, why? Why was this necessary? Because again, there is no place on the internet that provides the user with free, unbiased, not necessarily advice, but information. There are a lot of folks, and I think you know this, there are probably 99% of the population has no idea how to protect themselves for the economic chaos that lies ahead. All of us are actively working to help each other prepare. But those folks that are out there they're so busy just trying to make their mortgage, maybe care for their ailing and aging parents, or they're trying to put their kids through college, and they know something's right. They know the debt levels of not only the U.S., but the governments around the world are untenable, and can't be managed the way they've always been. They're growing exponentially, and this is all going to end badly. Those folks, they know they need to prepare, but they don't even know where to start. And if they were to go to a traditional financial advisor, they'd get looks of scorn. They'd get looks of kind of raised eyebrows. Oh, you must be one of those internet kooks. So after being laughed off, the financial advisor would say, no, you need some growth funds and some value funds and maybe some nice U.S. bond funds for safety, all that traditional BS that the traditional financial advisor would give them. Maybe if that person was persistent enough, that financial advisor would patronize them by pulling out from their desk a nice little shiny research report on some minor that brokerage firm has an investment banking relationship with. I mean, the point is, you can't, if you want to educate yourself and if you want to try to protect yourself, no one's going to help you. And that's what this site is for. So to that end, it's ready to go. Here you will find on this new site, first and foremost, my daily posts. And they may not be as frequent as they used to be, maybe just once a day, sometimes twice. And my posts have gotten very heavy into the technical analysis, which is designed mainly, as you always know, it's not complicated what I do, and I'm mainly trying to help people that don't even know what technical analysis is, help them begin to kind of see how they can do this for themselves. Because again, what I do is nothing fancy, and you know that. But what I want people then to do on this site is not only read what I do every day, which is what the current site does, but also interact and share and read information provided by you, my dear reader. So, to that end, there now are forums. There, I think, are 14 or 15 of them, ranging from current events and news to a gold forum, to a gold miner forum, to a platinum and a palladium forum, to a grain forum, to an energy forum, to, there's even a forum for your favorite conspiracy theories, so that if you want to discuss that with like-minded folks, there's a place to do it, and not clutter and hijack threads that are instead about silver or oil. So I encourage you to use the forums. Now, you have to be a registered member to use the forum. You don't have to be one to read it. You can lurk and read. That's fine. But if you want to post in a forum, or post a response to something I've said, or start a new thread in a forum, you do have to be a registered member. You can sign up directly through the site. You can sign up through Facebook. I think most of you will recognize how that works. We've tried to make it as easy as possible. There is also in the new site a chat room. So those of you that are trading actively during the course of a day, you can talk to each other on a real-time basis. So I think you'll enjoy that as well. There is, on the main navigation bar, there's a link to charts where, gosh, just about every free chart we can find is on there and updated. Gosh, you can even see the price of lead in a 24-hour chart if you want, if that's what trips your trigger. And, I know a lot of you are interested in lead, frankly. So anyway, we'll leave it at that. There's a chart in the nav bar there's a link in the nav bar for turdisms. So that I don't get 2 or 3 emails a day anymore asking me what the heck EE means or FUBM. It's all right there on a separate page called turdisms. Lastly, and I think to me this is the most important part of the site, on every single blog post by me, on every single comment by you, on every single forum thread comment, any place where someone has posted information, excuse me, I have to itch my mustache. Any place where someone has posted information, there is a little icon of a hat. See that hat? Kind of sits at an angle, about like that. There's a little hat icon. If you as a member or if you as a lurker think that the information contained in that post or in that comment or in that forum thread comment, if you think that's helpful, if you think that's positive, if you think that's constructive, I want you to give that person what we call a hat tip by clicking on that icon. The site will register that and log that hat tip into the account, if you will, of that member. And then the site will keep accumulated total for that member of how many hat tips they've received. There's what I don't like about Yahoo or Seeking Alpha or even Zero Hedge is that they provide a way for the reader or the user to give negative feedback. Sometimes you can get positive feedback too, but it's almost human nature to only read and only pay attention to the negative feedback. And then the board or the site becomes a pissing match between the person that wrote the comment and then the person that didn't agree with it. And the whole thing degenerates into name calling and a bunch of useless information. And so this site was designed with no negative feedback allowed. By clicking the hat tip, you are only giving positive feedback. By registering and keeping track of how many hat tips people have gotten over the weeks and months and years, I hope to create kind of a positive feedback loop, inspiring you to provide even more positive, helpful information. All right? If you don't agree with something, then you just don't agree with it. But if you do agree, and if you think someone has provided something that is helpful to you in preparing for the end of the Great Keynesian Experiment, then by all means, you as a member or you as a lurker, non-member, click the hat tip button to encourage that person to provide even more helpful information. That, I hope then, will provide the basis for a reader to decide if the information is credible or not. You won't know it unless you do your own due diligence and your own research as to whether if something is credible or not. But if a troll shows up and writes, Turd's an idiot and Turd stinks and blah, blah, which, probably has a point. But if that troll has been a member for 6 months and has only received 4 hat tips in 6 months, I think the reader can go, this person, why would I want to pay attention to that person anyway? But if in reading a thread in the Silver Miner forum about EXK, and somebody writes in there, EXK is great because they don't have any debt and blah, 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 blah. And then that reader sees that the author of that forum post has been a member for 3 months and has 6,000 hat tips. Well, that should lead that reader to sit back and go, maybe I should pay attention to what this guy says. So that's the point of the hat tips. Probably the most important part of the site, and I would encourage you to be generous with your hat tips, but only use them when you read something that is helpful and positive and supportive to the stated mission of the site, which is to help as many as possible prepare for the economic chaos that lies ahead. So that's it. We're ready to go. I'm really, really excited, and I really can't wait to see how you all fill this site in with useful information. All I ask in return is that you go wherever you go from here, and whether through the internet or through just your interpersonal relationships, you tell people about the site. Tell people what we're trying to build. I know you're as passionate about this as I am, or you wouldn't be a regular reader of my site. And so please, we need to get the word out that this growing database, this growing wiki of precious metals is out there, and we need as much user-provided content as we can get, which means we need as many users as we can get. So please go forth from here, and let's see if we can't make this website as the #1, pretty close as it is, which is pretty funny. But let's see if we can't make this website the #1 most trafficked precious metals themed website in the world. Like I said, we're already pretty close. Let's blow the rest of them away, and it'll be ours, and nobody else's. So thank you all for your patience. Thank you for your participation in the old site, and thank you in advance for all of the great information that you're going to willfully share to help your fellow man and woman prepare for what we all know is coming. I hope you enjoy it, and let's go have some fun. See ya.